Who are your top receiver tandems? And I'm going 2. And this was like hard for me to do. This was a hard list. And as you can see who I have up there, I had to narrow it down to 5. But I could have easily went 10 because there's a lot of them. Because when you think about me growing up in the Bay Area, there was T.O. and Rice. Steve Young throwing to a young Terrell Owens and an aging Jerry Rice. But that was a good tandem. And then you think about Peyton Manning throwing to Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. And then James Lofton and Andre Reed going to the Super Bowl only to be defeated 4 times in a row. And before Elway's success, you remember the 3 amigos. That's right, it was 3 of them. Mark Jackson, Ricky Natil, and Vance Johnson. And we all remember the Fun Bunch. You know, the Washington Redskins. You know, Joe Theismann's. He's throwing to Charlie Brown and Alvin Harper. I think they were called the Smurfs, too. The Fun Bunch, but a lot of those guys were like 5'8", 5'10". They called them the Smurfs. But, yeah, they were the Fun Bunch. And Warren Moon, remember his run and shoot? He didn't have not 1, not 2, not 3. He had 4. All these guys catching 80-plus passes for 1,000 yards. Hayward Jeffries, Curtis Duncan, Ernest Givens, and Drew Hill. And everyone remembers my all-time favorite. This is my favorite, but I couldn't put them at the top. And that's Tony Hill and Drew Pearson for the Dallas Cowboys, man. Loved them. In fact, go and look up Tony Hill's numbers. They're almost as good as Drew Pearson's, and he's in the Hall of Fame. And then Flipper, Anderson, and Henry Elliott, I believe it was, for the Rams. They used to drive the 49ers crazy. Wendell Tyler in the backfield. And, of course, everyone knows the legendary Lynn Swann and John Starworth. Those are just some of the ones I left off the list. I know arguably they could have easily been the top 5, but I have to go with who I have above. And these guys would have a Super Bowl if it wasn't for the kicker, Gary Anderson. That's right, Chris Carter and Randy Moss. They resurrected Randall Cunningham's career in 1998 and 1999. And then we have the greatest show on turf. Sorry, San Francisco. These guys went to St. Louis and they weren't the same old sorry Rams. Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt gave us that. And for those of you who thinks that Odell Beckham Jr. has made the greatest catch ever, you've never seen receivers like John Jefferson and Charlie Joyner. That's right. San Diego's Don Coryell's offense was before his time. They threw the ball, and John Jefferson made many circus catches. In fact, he was the one that originated, I think, the one-handed snag. And who can forget about the Marx brothers? Yes, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. Dan Marino made his career throwing to these guys. Please go look at the highlights of these guys. And my number 1, I hate to say it, because I am not a 49er fan, because I am a Dallas Cowboy fan, but Jerry Rice and John Taylor. You give these guys a 2-yard hitch, and they'll take it to the house every time. That's right. Those are my top 5 receiving tandems of all time. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know your 2. I'm kind of old school, but give me some new school. This is a Waters Rant.